Welcome to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast with your hosts, Eric and Rob.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast, 3GW. It's been a minute, a long minute. But we're still around. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you've been seeing me game, playing some God of War, some Fortnite, some Call of Duty. So just kind of keeping the stuff on some content coming, but not. You haven't seen our faces like this in the natural setting in a while. We told y'all holiday season has been crazy. My hours, I work 12 to 14 hours a day, anywhere between there, and then by the time I get home, I'm done. I'm toast. So the gaming you do get, I'm like a zombie playing those. So there's that. But anyway, Real Big E and Rob the Ambassador. What's going on, man?
Well, as you can see, got my Santa hat on, getting ready for the holidays here. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate this time of year. Happy holiday to you. It's part of the reason why it's been a little while for us. It's a busy time, especially for Big E.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not even just the holidays. All my kids, starting with my wife, to my parents, to the kids. All their birthdays is November, December. So we're talking everybody needs a cake, everybody needs presents, everybody needs food, everybody gets an outing. Nuts.
I feel your pain.
So yeah. Y'all don't know. Because when we do these videos and you see me gaming, it's quiet. Like, look at the time that I start, we do these things because everybody has to go to bed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, all right. Let's get into some wrestling, something we haven't talked about in a while. A lot of stuff been going on. I know we missed a couple shows. I know we missed the Final Battle, Ring of Honor show. A lot of stuff going on in AEW and WWE for that matter. But where I want to start is an update on someone that we have not seen in action in 9 months. Someone I share my namesake with, WWE's Big E, gave an update on his condition and his rehab. For those that have been living under a rock and haven't noticed that he's been missing, on March 11th, episode of Friday Night SmackDown of last year, or this year, 2022, last spring, Big E sustained a broken neck while an overhead belly-to-belly suplex at ringside from Ridge Holland. While the injury is obviously very serious, the star avoided any damage to his spinal cord, while he also didn't require surgery. Despite this, the former world champion has previously stated he won't know whether he can wrestle again until 2023. And here's a quote from Big E himself. I have to get some more scans at the 1 year mark in March, and we'll see how everything is looking. We'll see from there. My C1 is broken in 2 spots, so we obviously have to be very smart about that. I was very fortunate. I want to make sure I am making the best decision for myself. We'll see in March. I feel great. I'm really thankful for that. I don't have any nerve issues, no strength issues, no impairment whatsoever. Obviously, to get back in the ring to do what we do, I want to make sure my C1 is rock solid. Other than that, I'm very blessed and I feel great. He's also been working with WWE's NIL program, which aims to entice college athletes to join the company. And he talked about that as well. He said, it's been fun for me because I resonate with it because I was a football player at Iowa with a bunch of injuries. My career was over, and I'm thinking now, what do I do with my life? I was going to grad school, but I didn't really feel fulfilled. It didn't fulfill me. So I love being able to I feel like I can go back in time 13 years ago and look at the young men and women in a very similar position as me who are seeing the end of their college career You spend so much of your time invested in your sport. So yeah, it looks like we still have to wait and see what happens. It's very unfortunate situation, but like I said this before, he's such a personality. He really doesn't have to wrestle to still work for WWE and even be an on-screen character. He has that charisma. He has that thing. He has that it factor that a lot of people don't, and people love him. People love seeing him. He could still do the that we all miss. And yeah, I do hope to see him back in the ring. But when you're talking about your neck, I get nervous.
Well, man, I'm with you on that. I was watching SmackDown that night when he took that suplex from Ridge Holland, and man, it was terrible to see. But I'm glad that it wasn't more serious. The main thing, I just hope that Big E, will just have a good quality of life, whether it's in the ring, out of the ring. Like you said, he is very well liked in that locker room. I'm sure they would have him back in some capacity, even if he were not able to wrestle. But we have seen, medicine is an amazing thing. We've seen Edge, Daniel Bryan, and now latest Paige come back, all from serious neck injuries that initially were thought to be career ending, but they've all made comebacks. So I feel good that eventually we will see Big E back in the ring because of medical technology. I don't know if it'll be in 2023 or sometime later, but the main thing, once again, is that no matter what he does, I'm just glad that he will have a good quality of life because the injury was not more serious.
Right. Yeah. I've seen some of the videos he's done with those WWE tryouts, and he is there kind of like a motivational speaker right now. And he's perfect for it. I don't want to see him take the Titus O'Neil approach where he just becomes an ambassador. I think he could be a great, like I said, on-screen character and be on every week. Do what MVP does.
Yeah, and I think he could be like, even work backstage, like be a good trainer. He's younger. I think some of the younger upcoming talent would kind of resonate to him because, while he's a veteran, he's still relatively young. He's just a likable guy. Like you said, he's could be motivational and encouraging. So there's any number of things he could do for the wrestling industry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, let's talk about your girl.
Oh, my girl.
Well, technically, it's the Good Brothers girl. Well, it used to be anyway. I know y'all both have kind of fallen out of favor with the boss. Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Varnado, who the rumor's been circulating around her going to New Japan. And I know, like I said, y'all kind of like keeping her at arm's length like you do family members you don't really care for. But I'm interested to see what happens. I guess that's just where I'm at with it. And there's been rumors, like I said, Wrestle Kingdom. She's been kind of posting cryptic tweets and posts and things like that on social media. So, but here's somewhat of a confirmation. PW Insider is reporting that Sasha Banks has arrived in Japan ahead of Wrestle Kingdom 17, which will be held on January 4th inside the Tokyo Dome. Wrestle Kingdom is New Japan's biggest event of the year and promises an exciting night of action. The full match card. Woo! I'm not about to read all that off because I don't know a lot of these people's names, but I have heard that she is very I guess the plan is for her to start a storyline with one of the female wrestlers, I guess, and go from there. Personally, I don't hate the move. I think it's a because Justin LaBar kind of mentioned this on Wrestling Inc. podcast, and he said, she could work a deal that she could have a match in New Japan, even at Wrestle Kingdom, and then still be back in the States in time for a possible Royal Rumble return. It's possible. I don't know, but it's possible. But what she's doing with the tweets and kind of staying quiet, doing her own thing, going about it, she's smart because she's going into business for herself. She's looking out for herself. I understand also how you and Good Brother feel. How it's like you're so flaky. It's like we get you for a little while and then you leave and you come back and you leave. There's nothing wrong with being a part-timer if that's what you want to do, but it never come off as that. And you want to be in the title picture when you're around. I don't know. I think she does. Should she ever come back to WWE, she just should have like a more part-time schedule and just let it be that. What Ronda used to have when she had her first run, that's kind of what I think she should do now. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on? I don't want to call her Sasha because that's her WWE name. So Mercedes Varnado in New Japan.
Well, look, we know she's a talented wrestler. No doubt about that. She's an attractive girl. And that makes her interesting. However, and obviously I don't know her personally, and I don't know the situations personally that caused her to leave and come back and leave and come back but I'll just say it strikes me as her being a diva or being I'll just leave it at that. It just strikes me as her being a diva, maybe a bit of a crybaby, just, when you don't get things your way. And you don't always get things your way in the wrestling business or any other business. I don't always get things my way in at work or in a lot of things in my life. But you just can't pick up your ball and go home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as her wrestling in New Japan, does that interest me? A little bit, because she's a talented wrestler, and I know that there are other talented wrestlers in New Japan. Does it interest me in her possibly coming back to WWE? A little bit. But even if she does return, how long will she be there? What will be the next thing that makes her upset and run off? Pretty much I'm just kind of over Sasha, like you said, it's been 9 months since her and Naomi left, and we keep hearing about Sasha doing this, Sasha doing that. And I'm just kind of just tired of it, man. Either wrestle or don't.
What if she did come back on like a Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns type schedule?
I personally don't care for those part-time schedules, and we've all been critical of that. We all kind of have said, if you're going to be on the roster, be on the roster. I'm a big Roman Reigns fan, but this whole part-time thing of him being on SmackDown part-time and being the not just the SmackDown champion, but being the undisputed champion, having both belts, but showing up part-time, I don't really care for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't care for it if Sasha did it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get more of Roman, probably from now until Mania, because it's that season. But I definitely agree with you. But when you really think he did put in the work, and I guess the problem with him working less days is because he's champion, the champion, right? So we were talking about the big dog. I was gonna say this for last, but since we're talking about him, got a big match next week. This week, right? Or was it next week?
Are you talking about the tag team match?
Tag match.
Yeah, that's actually on Friday. No,
yeah,
it's next week. It's December 30th.
The return of John Cena teaming with Kevin Owens to face Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. I don't know about you, but John Cena teaming with Kevin Owens is more odd than when he teamed with The Rock. because we all know how him and Kevin Owens first hooked up in that rivalry, and when Kevin Owens beat John Cena clean when he was in NXT as the NXT champion, and they had a hell of a feud. So for Cena to come back and say, "Oh yeah, my old buddy, my old friend, Kevin Owens," I'm like, "No, he was not your friend. Y'all ain't never been friends. What are you talking about?" So, I don't really understand. I guess it's just the way to put. Okay, yeah, Kevin Owens text John Cena saying, "Hey, for the last so amount of years, you've had at least one match every year, but 2022 you haven't, and 2022 is almost over. Come on back." I don't know. It just feels kind of forced. I would have preferred something else, or just have Cena show up and say, "Hey, you beat me at SummerSlam. I gotta get back at you," and then yada yada yada. Kevin Owens and Sammy have that thing going. I don't know, man. It's anytime Cena comes back, it just feels like it just feels forced. I don't know.
Oh man, I'm okay with it because obviously they bring Cena back because they're trying to draw interest and get viewers. And there is history between him and Owen, so it does seem like an odd pairing. But I think doing this serves two purposes. One, I already just spoke about bringing eyes onto the product. And then I think this tag team match, this is just my guess. How would I know anything? I don't work for WWE. But I think this could be the start of the breakup of Sammy and the Bloodline. I think somehow Sammy could cost Roman the match or cause something to happen. Excuse me?
I think he could take the fall, and that would maybe make Roman give him the side eye. But go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, I think we're kind of on the same page that I think that we're going to see at least the beginning of some dissension between Sammy and the Bloodline, I guess is what I'm getting at.
The most I would see is him taking the fall, and then that was, like I said, they'll kind of look at him like, or just blame him. I can see them just being mad at him, like, hey, you lost us the match, whatever. And not like any no shenanigans. He just straight up loses. John Cena hits the F, and that's not the FU, but AA, and Kevin Owens hits the pop-up powerbomb and a stunner, and he takes all the finishes and he gets beat. Whatever. I think the dissension is going to start at the Rumble, as you think about it. Yeah, Solo, both Usos, and Sammy probably going to be in that Rumble match. Only one of y'all can be the winner, and it's probably not going to be any of them, to be honest. But only one of y'all can win, and I'm sure Roman's going to have the instruction of one of y'all go in and win. That way, I control the narrative of WrestleMania. We all knew who's going to be in the Rumble, who's going to win that. The male Rumble, we know that. Yeah. I just think that could be the point where Sammy throws out Jay, even after they kind of made amends. He throws him out, and it's like, dude, what the F?
I think that's a good point, and I could very well see that happening. I do think it'd be kind of odd for the Usos and Sammy to be in the Rumble trying to win a shot at Roman, but like you said, I guess that's Roman's way of, like you said, controlling the situation and maybe thinking that if any member of the Bloodline wins, obviously they will just roll over for Roman. So I guess that's an interesting storyline.
Remember when Triple H was champion and he had Randy Orton and Batista in the Rumble?
Yeah. So yeah, similar situation, I guess.
Yep. And last but not least, so Triple H took over, got 100% creative control of WWE. And there's been quite a few returns in that process. We got some of them we really, really wanted. Some were out of the blue. We didn't expect to get Dakota Kai and Io Sky back. We didn't expect to get Braun Strowman back. But we were glad. I think we were all glad to see them. We were hoping to get Bray Wyatt. Got Bray Wyatt. Hasn't really gone the way we want to, but I think it's finally starting to pick up a little bit. Karrion Kross, I wanted him to come back. That has by far been the most disappointing one. Before I jumped the gun. But I gotta say, outside of those obvious names, the Candice LeRae's of the world, the Emmas, the Bronson Reed, the Dexter Loomises. The biggest issue is something that we talked about all the time. Everybody didn't watch NXT. So they don't have a connection with Bronson Reed, with Dexter Loomis, with Candice LeRae. They really didn't have a connection with Dakota Kai or Io Sky, but they have, I think, because of Bayley, I think people have adapted more to them than these other people from NXT. I really don't understand the Emma one. That really, outside of her being Madcap Moss, I don't really understand bringing her back in the fold at all. Don't get it. Tegan Knox, I know, was Triple H's baby from all the way back to the Mae Young Classic. He has tried and tried and tried, and really injuries have plagued her. But not knowing who these people are, and these people don't stand out really. Justin LaBar again made a good point. Are we supposed to be cheering Dexter Loomis, this person that kidnapped Miz, this person that broke into Miz's house, this person that we don't know who he is? He doesn't, point you make all the time. He doesn't even speak. He's pretty much a creep. He's the very thing that Hollywood's trying to get rid of at the moment. He's a creep. All right, he's the definition of a creep. He's a big swole ass creep, and he doesn't say a word. He has the creeper stash.
I've said this stuff all along.
Yes,
man.
you have,
Dude,
yeah, but
stalker,
now it's
he
like
don't talk. I don't understand the appeal of any of it.
And then you had, and from what I can detect, the crowd was sitting on their hands for that ladder match on Raw, and I'm pretty sure they didn't say a thing when Bronson Reed came out. They were just like, imagine being in the arena and this big guy comes out, and we're supposed to know who he is, and nobody knows who he is. It wasn't like he was ever NXT champion, brought that championship to Raw, and we got that exposure. He was North American champion for like a day and got cut.
Man, I think some of these returns I don't get. Now, I'm not always bothered by the fact that these people don't get huge pops when they first show up. Because I remember, look, I've been watching wrestling like you have since long before NXT. And I've seen many debuts of people who, when they first walked out, I'm like, who the hell is this person? Right? I don't pop for them because I don't know who they are. So it doesn't bother me that these people come on and don't get the initial big pop because not everybody watches NXT. Not everybody knows who these people are. My question is, okay, once you decide to bring these people up, do you have something interesting for them to do? Do you have an interesting storyline? Do you have an interesting idea for a character that they should be? In the case of Loomis, I have never liked that character. I was very surprised when they brought him to the main roster. I was never a fan of Karrion Kross, but I still thought there was potential in him. For me, the problem with him is just they're just not doing anything interesting with him. You immediately get him in a program with McIntyre. He McIntyre kind of gets the better of him.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that the shaved head was a better look for him.
The hair really, I hate to nitpick a grown man about his appearance and his hair, but you look more menacing when you didn't have any hair on your head. I get it. You want to grow it because you can, but it's like, dude. He even said in an interview when he that's why he kept a bald head. He was bald in TNA. So it wasn't like it was just a WWE thing. He never had, as long as I've seen Killer Cross or Karrion Kross, he never had hair. Dude grew his hair out and he just looked weird.
Yeah, even Johnny Gargano, who the crowd did pop for, well, look what they're doing with him. Yeah. Okay, so to me, the problem isn't they're bringing up the wrong people. To me, this problem more is the fact that they just aren't coming up with interesting things for them to do. I was glad to see Strowman back. Oh. I think they're doing okay with him.
They are walking on eggshells. I've never seen them walk so eggshells, man, with Braun Strowman. He should be. I mean, I guess because Triple H is not Vince McMahon. The guy has everything. He can talk. He lost. I mean, could he be in better shape? And he's huge, and he can work. I don't know. I would have him. Well, you don't want to ruin him, so I guess it's just tough. Because you got other big guys. You got Drew. He could do a feud with Drew that you could buy. He could do a feud with Karrion Kross that you could buy. He could do a feud with Bobby Lashley you could buy. We did the Omos thing already. Him and Gunther. I mean, maybe they might be headed that way based on what's happening with him and Ricochet.
Kind of teased it, yeah.
But man, him and Gunther, ooh, yeah, yep. Take my money. I want to see that.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like him and Sheamus.
Get something for these people to do because look, I like the idea that they need to get new talent on the roster. Okay, you know, look, Miz, Seth Rollins, Roman. I mean,
just that.
You're right, but you need to get some new younger talent. So I like that they're bringing them in. I'm just not sure of some of the talent that they brought in, and I'm not sure if they have things for these people to do. That's my main thing. Give them interesting storylines, give them interesting characters, make them relevant.
You know who's like really good that I never thought I would grow to like, at least this gimmick that they're doing right now, but it doesn't matter how many times they lose. Every time they come out, they cut great promos. And he can wrestle his ass off.
Oh yeah, this gimmick for Chad Gable is perfect. This is much better. See, this is what I mean. Remember when they had him doing the Shorty G thing?
Yeah.
I think I voted that like my worst character or worst gimmick one of the year. But now, man, see, when you get a wrestler in the right program, into the right character, you can really elevate them. And I know it's not an easy thing to do because so many of these things have been done before, but I love what Gable is doing right now. He's a perfect example.
And it's like, he does do the goofy shit. But when the bell rings, he wrestles his ass off. So it's like, oh, well, that's okay that he does that goofy stuff. That's why Kurt Angle got over. No matter what Kurt Angle did, he could get it over because, yeah, I might be doing a little silly shit with the small hat and the guitar with Stone Cold Steve Austin, but at the next, he could go away, come back, shave his head, and be the most intense wrestler, and you would buy it, you believe it, because he's always shown that. I think it's when you play a goofy character and then you get squashed every time out. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Mustafa Ali getting his ass whooped every single week. He gets TV time because his ass whooped every week. Every single week he gets his ass whooped.
Yeah, you know, not every wrestler. Look, we see Tozawa. He's basically just there for comedy relief. Not every wrestler.
Tozawa has looked better than Mustafa Ali.
Well, I guess you could say that, but sometimes your role on a wrestling show is just to be the person who gets beat, to be the victim, to be the guy who comes up just short. You know, people want to root for you, but you just keep coming up short. Sometimes it's just your role. Not everybody can be the A-lister.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, some people are the B and C players. Some people are less than that. That's just the role for some people.
And we said this. We said when Triple H took over, there was a lot of good things that happened, but there was gonna come a day when we had our criticisms. And I got one big one. He fired Bobby Lashley for the stuff he was doing. He accidentally speared a member of management, and it happened again. And Adam Pearce fired him. Roman Reigns sent the dogs to Raw to attack everybody in the locker room. Nothing. Nothing.
Well,
Not a suspension, nothing. Just let the dogs run free. Nothing. But you fired Bobby Lashley.
Right.
It's just like I would buy that if you didn't have these Usos and Solo attacking the whole locker room, like, and you ain't doing shit about that. But let's put them in a match.
Yeah, well, man, Roman's the big dog, undisputed champ. He's gonna get a little more leeway than and I'm not saying, look, Bobby's working his way up there, man. Bobby's big time on the roster, which is why they unfired him. But man, that didn't bother me so much. It's just wrestling stuff.
Do you see them bringing the Hurt Business back?
Man, I heard something about that. I'm cool with that. It's okay. Like I said, let's just see where they go with it.
If they do, I would rather them just do like Omos, MVP, him and Omos. Let Shelton and Cedric do their own thing, and just let it be MVP.
Then that's not the Hurt Business.
Let it be Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley MVP and Omos. Let them be the Hurt Business.
I agree that that's the best case scenario because, look, with all due respect to Shelton Benjamin, one of the greatest, just pure wrestlers ever. He's a little older, and I think time has passed him. And to me, Cedric Alexander, decent wrestler, but just not.
He's a young Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah,
just can work in the ring. They ain't got no character.
Yeah, just not an interesting personality. So yeah, I think that's valid.
Yeah.
Look, man, I want to know if we are going to talk about your girl.
Oh yeah.
You weren't going to leave her off the show, was you?
Well, my heart is still a little broken. But I guess I'm in a tough spot here because I understand that you work for WWE, you work for a company this big, right? And you're on national TV on a weekly basis. They booked you to be a dominant champion. They gave you the most dominant women-female faction outside of Damage Control. They were the most dominant female faction in the company. And
to me, they were more powerful than Damage Control.
I think so too. And it's kind of always been a problem when the WWE superstars, they have their independent content websites, varying from gaming to little risque content. And I guess they warned her once, and she said okay, toned it down a little bit, but then she went right back to it. I guess it's tough for me because I have a daughter, so I personally would not want mine doing that, posting that to get a quick buck.
Right.
Especially when you have a career, but at the same time, when I think this is the problem. Why it's just because of all the cuts they make and they have made over the years, it puts wrestlers between a rock and a hard place. I can't put all my eggs in this WWE basket because at any point in time I could get cut, and then what am I supposed to do? I have a house, I have bills, I might have children, I might have parents I have to take care of, or other people I have to provide for. So I have to have a second income, a flow of income. And a lot of them, most of them, make more money gaming, these independent content websites. And I think it was reported she's made $500,000 since she's been fired. And by Christmas, she's gonna be a self-made millionaire. Or I go out here, take these bumps and bruises, and maybe make a quarter mil. Maybe. So I guess it's that old saying, I'm not counting the next person's money. I'm not counting your wallet and how you make your money as long as you're not harming nobody and harming the community or harming yourself. I guess you gotta use what you got and make that money and create generational wealth. I mean, don't do it forever. Like I said, I got a daughter. I wouldn't want to do it at all, but at some point in time, you're an adult. You gotta make your own decisions. And honestly, let's be real. She could come back whenever she wanted to. If that was the only problem, if it was posting that content and she said, all right, I've made this, I can invest, I can put all this money to the side, I can kind of tone this down. I have other opportunities now. She might help. Who's to say she doesn't get into TV or doing commercials or movies or whatever? She's got the look. Or she can come back to the main roster. Who knows? But I wish her the best. Got a chance to meet her while she was under the brand, and she was nice. I, it sucks. I'm sad to see her go. Um, but I, make that money, girl. But don't let it make you.
Yeah, man, to me, there's no fault here on either side. It almost sounds like it was mutual. She decided, look, I'm just making more money doing this side hustle, so I'm just going to go with that. You know, if you're not going to allow me to do it and do what I do here, I'm just going to go do that. So WWE said, do what you do.
Yeah,
there ain't no fault. So, and if that's how she wants to make her money, no judgment from me. It's too bad because they really were finally starting to elevate Mandy, and I was looking forward to seeing her back on the main roster. But at least that's not going to happen right now. You know, there was a time when WWE wouldn't even care about such a thing. I mean, now, obviously, what I'm talking about is before social media, but back in the 90s, Tori Wilson and some of these other girls, Stacy Keibler, they would all be
not only not care, promote. They promoted Playboy.
They did. That's exactly the point I was about to make. But, and I've said this many times on this podcast, it's a different day. WWE is now a publicly traded company. They don't necessarily get to make their own decisions. They have stockholders who say, look, we think that's a bad look for the company we are investing in. We want you to do something about that. And so that's probably what happened. If Vince still ran things, or if the McMahon still owned the company free and clear without any other investors, maybe they don't release Mandy.
Now Vince does still, just for context for people that don't know, Vince does still hold majority. He's the majority shareholder. I guess is the best way to say it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So, like I said, if this is the way she wants to go about making her money, go ahead and make it. You know, I don't know if Hollywood comes calling. You know, she's a pretty girl, but you know, Hollywood is full of, you know, pretty faces, round asses, and big titties. She's nothing special in that respect. But
no,
obviously, she's making money doing this these little racy videos of hers. So go ahead if that's what you want to do. And hey, man, look, no judgment. You know, I might take a look at it. I ain't gonna pay. I ain't gonna pay. Actually, I had to do a little research for the show, and I went out and saw some stuff, and you know, they're nice pictures, but I wouldn't pay no $20 a month to see them when I could just Google them and see them for free on the internet.
Right. I don't know. It's a lot of wrestlers, female wrestlers, especially doing OnlyFans, doing their own content sites. But even besides that, let's not forget that Adam Cole was having a problem because he has a Twitch channel where he games and he makes a ton of money from gaming. T-Pain, the singer, he said, I have made more money playing video games on Twitch than I ever did making music. That is mind blowing. So Adam Cole loves wrestling, but he loves video games too. And if I have two loves, and one of them is making me this much money, and the other one's making me this much money, and I ain't gotta get hit upside the fucking head, you gotta start thinking long term. Adam Cole ain't no spring chicken, so
Right. Wait, man, Xavier Woods is doing both, right? Up, up, down, down.
he
And
is.
yeah, man, the wrestling business, he got two paychecks
But
coming in.
see,
To me, two is
WWE is
better than
taking a
one.
piece of that though. That's why the reason why Xavier Woods gets to do that is because WWE's taking their cut of that too. They probably get 50% of whatever he makes over there.
See, but I don't understand. That must have been a deal he arranged, or approved.
It's a
I don't know why.
WWE channel.
Oh well,
It's
then
a
okay.
part
So then
of WWE. Up, down, down is a part of WWE.
okay. So then
It's not his own thing.
oh well, then okay. I thought it was his own creation. It's not his own
No.
creation. He's just like the host or whatever.
I will give him the credit of maybe he brought the idea and he probably came to them and said, I want to do a gaming channel, but I don't want to breach a contract either. They probably said, oh, well, you know what? This will probably be cool. That's how he gets all the people on the show because he's doing it through them. So they taking a cut of that.
Okay. Well, look, man.
That's how he got that belt.
Oh, okay. Well, my feelings are the same as yours. She's not doing anything to hurt anyone else. And if that's what she wants to do, man, more power to her. And if WWE says, well, look, we just can't have that as a part of our company, so we're going to say goodbye to you, I can't be mad at them either.
Right. It's respect to both sides. It sucks. But at the end of the day, it's no different than coming to a table, trying to negotiate a deal, and we just can't come to a deal. It happens. Happened in the past with Brock. It happened in the past with a bunch of people that we just cannot come to the agreement on the deal, and we'll revisit another day. We've been watching wrestling long enough to know that just because you get let go now does not mean we will never ever see you again. I guarantee. I guarantee you'll see Mandy Rose back in WWE one day.
I agree. I just feel bad because the timing of it was so bad. I wasn't a big fan of Mandy early on, of her wrestling, I'll say. But I feel like she finally made her stripes, earned her way, and was ready for the big time. And unfortunately, she's no longer with the company. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Well, wanted to keep this one short because, like I said, busy time of the year. Got a little cleaning up to do, some other things to do before I even hit the hay. I may or may not get on tonight and game a little bit. We'll see. But I am enjoying it. It's been I had a couple rage moments playing God of War. You get stuck on something can't beat. But
yeah, I be hearing you out there.
Huh?
I be hearing you sometimes.
Yeah. It's excuse me. But it's been fun. It's been nice having the camera and people able to see me and things like that. So it's been pretty cool. Giving purpose to my gaming. So I still have I'm once I finish God of War from 2018, and I'll open this up and install it. It's the sequel. But like the ambassador, I'm a completist. Can't do the sequel before I play the original. Well, not the original, but the one before it, So coming up probably will be after Christmas at this point, because I didn't anticipate being so busy. but we are still going to do the movie review for December. It will be the Star Wars the holiday special. That will be the movie review for December. And then also so it's a tradition around here every year. Got the year-end show, the countdown of the best and worst of 2022. Kind of been, retreading the thoughts of things that have happened in 2022. So that'll most likely be next week. Probably next. We're gonna shoot for next Thursday or Friday. We'll probably get that up and get some time, do some research, and we still got a little more time in 2022. You never know what could happen, so we want to let some of the stuff play out. And because there was the one year with the whole Rusev jumping out the cake thing, and that was at the very, very end. Yeah. So other than that, check out the gaming on the channel. If there are games you want to see me play, once I'm done with these three, then I'll, hop on those as well. We got some more games coming. I don't want to say yet because some of those are Christmas gifts But I got other games I can play. A couple games I may want to revisit, but let me know. Shoot us an email, thirdgenwrestling@gmail.com. Hit us up on Instagram, Third Generation Wrestling Podcast. Twitter is podcast_third. TikTok, been posting on TikTok lately. So TikTok is Third Generation Wrestling Pod, as well as on Twitch. So all that stuff will be down below. You can check it out. Holiday season. Hope everybody's enjoying the time. Get your Christmas shopping done. Be safe out there. It's also where we are anyway. It's wintertime, so be safe. Take your time driving. Take your time walking. Ice, all that good stuff. Black ice. So please, please, please be safe. Rob, take it away.
All right. Y'all know the drill. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. 2022 has been a big year for us. We've had some of our highest numbers. We're thankful for that, and we appreciate y'all. Now, I think we're going to be back before 2023, but in case life gets busy like it has been sometimes, we're going to wish y'all a happy new year, a blessed 2023. Obviously, this podcast plans on bigger and better things in the year to come. Thank you all.
Oh, yes. We keep evolving with the times, just like everybody else. So thank you all again, and we'll speak to you all again soon. Peace.